With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being the Snoop D-O double G, period. I had a great video last night with Carol sitting over here. She won't let me post it, but it was great. It was fantastic, phenomenal stuff. It was fun to talk with somebody on camera. I might have to have some guest stars on the show. I have so much shit to do today, and very little time to do it, and no desire to do anything other than drink coffee. So when in doubt, vlog it out. That's what I say. You're on the road to 40. Let's take a ride. Okay, so, I was talking about last night maybe getting into... I've been trying to come up with some topics with Carol and just write some stuff down. And last night I tried to record. It's part of the video that Carol was here for. I don't know if you remember the song Informer by Snow. It was probably around like 92. I thought it'd be funny to do a whole video where I talk to the camera, just using those lyrics. It didn't quite work out the way I wanted. It was funny for about 30 seconds, and then I was like, this is dumb. It was still fun to do. So I thought, maybe let's get the creative juices going today. I have to figure out how to install a ceiling fan today. Carol took down the chandelier a few weeks ago, and the bracket that's up there, the little box, I think it's the receptacle, they call it. I don't know. I don't know these things. I just put things together and hope they work. The screws that come out of it are too close together for the bracket for the new ceiling fan, and there's plaster all around the old receptacle, so I guess you got to break it away so you can get the old receptacle out, run the wires through the new, probably plastic receptacle, and then everything will line up and we'll all live happily ever after. But anybody who knows me knows that, yes, I may be a jack of all trades. I'm also a jackass. And sometimes I get lucky and things work out. Like, we installed a new kitchen sink. One of those pull-down hose things, really fun. It's kind of neat. But we did it, and it worked, and it didn't leak, and I'm excited. And we went over some friends' houses, or a house. Damn dogs. A few months ago and helped them install some ceiling fans, and that worked out fine. But apparently this house must be just enough older that the modern brackets don't fit the now antiquated, what a beautiful word, huh? Brackets that used to work there. So instead of making an effort to finish that or work on the game that I'm supposed to be running tonight at 7 o'clock, which I've got most of it written, but I'm probably got a leg up for the next 2 or 3 games. I have the ideas in place. I just don't have everything fine-tuned the way I like to have it before I sit down for a nice role-playing, a night of wondrous role-playing. So I thought, hey, you know what? I've got a few minutes. Carol and Gwen went for a walk. I've got the babysitter watching Griffin out in the living room, also known as the TV. I know that's terrible, but they had lost TV for a few days for being naughty. I did too, because I'm so naughty. And so I figure I've got, a good half hour or so to do something. I may do another one of these later today too, but I thought I'd go over some of my top, I don't want to call this my top 10 musical acts of all time, because it's not really that. It's not really a top list. It's just bands I want to mention. And I've only got 7 of them. Isn't that funny? Like, you would think that, well, I guess, I certainly could add a lot to this. But let's just go over these. Let me show you what I got. In no particular order. Maybe the top 5 are in a particular order. But I started thinking about bands that I've listened to, bands that I've loved, and, bands that have had an influence on me as well. So this may not be my idea of the best 5 bands, but it's more the top 5 bands that have had some influence on me. So let's go down here to number 9. I've actually just added a few while we were talking. And that would be Jeffrey Gaines. I was introduced to Jeffrey Gaines by Chris Lambert. This is an interesting story. I had just I started playing with those guys down in the studios, and Chris had planned a trip to go to the White Mountains. I'd never been there before. This is 93, I believe. 93 or 94. And he invited me along with him and a few of his friends, you know, and everyone backed out except for him and me. And now, I had just met Chris probably, you know, 2 or 3 months earlier, so I didn't really know him great. But hey, you know, it was a fun trip, so we went anyway, and it was one of the best, you know, little mini vacations I've ever had. I got introduced to Mount Pemigewasset and Peg's Breakfast up in the White Mountains, Lincoln or North Woodstock. I can't remember what town it is. I'll put a link down there, because Peg's, if you're in the White Mountains, you should go eat there. I don't know what I could eat there anymore being a vegetarian, but nice little restaurant. We always stayed at Indian Head Resort. It's a cool little, you know, it's not too expensive, and it's great view of the mountains, cool little gift shop. You know, they got the restaurant there. Nonetheless, so that's when I got introduced to Jeffrey Gaines, he's like kind of an acoustic musician, songwriter type of character. Beautiful voice. You might have heard him on the radio do that version of Peter Gabriel's song, In Your Eyes. But in my opinion, that's not his best work. The first album and the second album are definitely primo goodo. Number 8, Michael Jackson. Until I heard Michael Jackson, like, music wasn't even really part of my life. Music was singing at church for me. And then, you know, Beat It. I heard that for the first time, and whoa. Damn dogs. And I think Michael Jackson has had a lot of influence on a lot of people who may not even admit it. And I know he's had some controversy surrounding him, and I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about him as a performer. Had a major influence on me. The way he portrayed himself on stage. He was larger than life. But then you interview him, and he's such a timid little gentleman. And, like, you know, it's funny how somebody can turn that switch on when they hit the stage, but some people just have that knack. So, yeah, Michael Jackson, you know, his body of work, certainly. First 2, 3, 4 albums were phenomenal. Number 7, Sparkle Horse. Now, the first time I heard Sparkle Horse, I was with Corey and Scott. We were going to a thrift store. I don't think I'd ever been to this thrift store before. I'm going to kill these dogs. And, no, I love my dogs. And, Weird Sisters came on. He had made this mixtape or something like that, so congratulations. And that just that low rumbling guitar, and then the drums just come in when they feel like it, and the Parasites will love you when you're dead. Those lyrics, la 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 la. It was one of those first bands for me that wasn't 4/4, that wasn't melodically perfect. There was just like, I was like, wow, you can get away with that? Like, and make it sound good? It's phenomenal. Because I always felt like up to that point in my songwriting career, everything I wrote had to be pristine. Like, it had to be polished. And when I heard that, and I realized that, you know, I mean, I don't want to say I realized, but it was definitely an epiphany moment for me when I came to this realization that, you know, music isn't perfect, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And it's, you know, it's all in the ear of the listener. So that was Sparkle Horse for me, and that was a big game changer. That was just like a moment when I was just like, whoa, holy crap, this is phenomenal music. Beautiful melodies, haunting lyrics. If you haven't heard Viva Dixie, Submariner Plot, whatever the name of that first CD is that's got the huge title, do yourself a favor. Go on Amazon and listen to some samples, or just buy it. Just buy it. I'm sure you can get it at a used record store somewhere for under $5. And if you can't, go spend the money, because the singer, he killed himself probably about 5 years ago. he had stomach cancer, and he shot himself. He had a few friends over. He was in a wheelchair at the time. He had a few friends over. He excused himself. He took his shotgun, went out into the woods. I think it was down by a lake, and shot himself in the stomach, and he died. And that, what the hell is his name? It's killing me. Well, I'll look it up while we're talking here. So that was Sparklehorse. That was the most influential music in the 90s for me, I'd have to say. Mark Linkous was his name. And actually our bass player got to interview him, I think, for Rolling Stone once, Matt Asher. Lucky bastard. I would have liked to have met Mark, because his music was it just touched me. Okay, moving right along. Number 6, Hugh Laurie. Now this is a little bit of a shocker, and I know sometimes when entertainers or actors or other walks of life come into the music scene, it's questionable. Like, Jeff Bridges did it recently, and I think he did it successfully. But there's times where it's just almost a joke, or it's just another way to make money. But Hugh Laurie, there's a PBS special where he starts in Texas and ends up in the French Quarter in New Orleans. And it shows him playing all these different performances. Get down. Along the way. And it's just his road. It's blues, jazz, it's New Orleans type of music, and it's all just these covers of songs from, dating way back to 30s, 40s, maybe even further back than that. I don't know. I haven't, really done enough research on every song. But the first CD, Let Them Talk, there's a song on there, You Don't Know My Mind. And I think it's the best song on the CD, but I could pretty much grab just about any song on that CD and feel just as strongly about it. He has some guest musicians on it that I'm not familiar with them. Tom Jones is the only one, and I'm not a big Tom Jones fan, but it doesn't ruin the CD for me. The second CD moves up the Mississippi. And it's just as good, I think. It grows on you, though. It's like the first one, it just had me at hello. The second CD, it had to grow on me a little bit. Still phenomenal. Number 5, Ice Cube. Once again, his body of work. There's not a single CD that I listen to of his that I don't like. No, I shouldn't say that I don't hate. There's some songs that I don't like, but ever since, Lethal Injection, pretty much every CD that he's put out has had enough songs on it that are better than bad that I walk away with happy with my purchase. I don't buy a lot of music just because I just can't afford to. So Ice Cube, and there's probably 2 or 3 other people on this list that I do continue to buy whenever they put out a new CD. So Ice Cube, I can't really tell you too much about why I like him. I was introduced to him by Gary and Mike Pacheco, and I started listening to NWA at the time, and it was awesome. It was just fun-loving gangster rap, which don't really go hand in hand. And my favorite song, probably by Ice Cube, would be that, the cops want to catch the, but I'll blast you and never call you master. Who's that kicking up shit much faster? Rolling on the scooter. No, oh, what is that? Say Hi to the Bad Guy. I like that song. Okay. Number 4. Wheat. Wheat is just phenomenal. I don't want to get too crazy about it, but just about everything they've written, and it's evolved so much through the years too. I remember when they first started when they were Girl, and they were doing 4-track recordings, and that first Girl demo was awesome. It reminded me a lot of Sparklehorse, to be honest, but it had its own thing going for it. And they've just grown through the years and evolved and changed. And it started out as an art project, from what I understand. And our old bass player, Ken Medeiros, used to play for them. And he played for Lunch Meat Circus before he played for Wheat. I knew Ken. Actually, I think I met Scott, too, for the first time at my church. Went to Street Baptist Church. And Ken had a mohawk. And he was 6 6'3", maybe. He's a tall guy. When he was playing with Lunch Meat Circus down in Mario's basement, he used to have to stand between the rafters, or whatever they call them, sport beams or whatever, when he would play if he wanted to stand up because he was so tall. But I got introduced to their music through Ken, and then everything they've put out pretty much since that has once again been phenomenal. Just life-changing, beautiful lyrics, wonderful melodies, guitar hooks that just have their own voice, I guess. So if you haven't heard them, people calling me, dogs barking. I don't got time for this. There are people texting me. So yeah, if you've never heard Wheat, the Wheat Band, the Wheat Guys, Wheat Music, check them out. I'll put a link to either their website or something down in the comments. Or I think they've got a channel on here. I'll link it on there. Okay, number 3. All right. Half of you are going to be like, yeah. The other half's going to be like, are you kidding me? Bon Jovi. I don't care what you got to say about him. This is my top list, not yours. It's going on 16 minutes. It's going to be a long one today. But I don't know if I'm going to do another one because I've got so much to do. So, yeah, Bon Jovi is just from Slippery When Wet. That was the first and only CD that I liked up to that point until their current, whatever their newest CD out is. Like, there's just something about that. There's always that epic song on every one of their albums that's just like one of those motivational kind of, I want to do a video montage, a Rocky IV scene to their music, that type of song, like It's My Life, or, I can't tell you exactly every CD, the song specifically that struck me on it as being that epic song, but there was a lot of them. And so, it's just one of those fun bands. Enjoy them, or don't. Number 2, I'm going to wrap this up as quick as I can because I'm afraid this is going to crash on me, and I'm going to cry if I lose all of this. Now, number 2 and number 1, if you know me, you know that... Hang on just a second. I'm recording. I'll be right out. Yeah, I'm still in my PJs. Grayson was down at my mother's house visiting her, and he came up, and I just want to finish this because I've only got 2 left to go, and then I'll call it a day. He was so excited. He saved his money. He's one of the savers, which is rare in this house. Gwen spends all her money. Griffin, he doesn't really care, but Grayson had a lunchbox, just a bloated metal lunchbox filled with change that he brought to the bank yesterday, and he got like $124, I think it was, or something like that. And he was so excited, so he wants to spend it now, which, hey, fair enough. He saved it for a while, so. And that was just change. That wasn't like birthday thing, like money that he got in the mail or anything. So, good for him. Number 2 and number 1 were neck and neck. I'm still kind of torn on the direction I went with number 1 and 2. The rest of this list is completely compatible. Like, you could swatch them out, swing them out, and end up with pretty much the same results, and with just shuffling a few bands around. Number 2 and number 1. Let me just give them to you straight up. Counting Crows and Guns N' Roses. That's right. Counting Crows. Let me start with Guns N' Roses, even though they're the number 1. They're number 1 on my list because of Appetite for Destruction. I like Lies. I like the Easier Illusion albums, some of the songs. After that, I don't know. Chinese Democracy, I don't care. There's songs on there that I like better. Madagascar, I think those are really 2 well-written songs that if they had been written with the original band, I think they would have been a little bit better. But Guns N' Roses was that band that I heard on Halloween, must have been 89, maybe 90. I was in my cousin Melissa's car. We were trick-or-treating with their boyfriend Scott at the time. Staple under the nail. And that intro riff to Welcome to the Jungle came on, and that was it. Like, I was done for after that. Like, glam rock, hard rock just took over my life at that point. But I can't say enough about Guns N' Roses. I'll have to do a video on them at some point, just telling you more about them. But Counting Crows, Mr. Jones. It's kind of the same reason why I fell in love with Sparkle Horse, that kind of, it wasn't perfect, though the songs on that first CD, August and Everything Afterwards, were just moving, touching, well written, lyrically, melodically. Every part of every song is so well thought out on that first CD, and I just feel like it continued on through all their CDs. Like, there's been some CDs where I listen to it and it has to grow on me. There's some songs where I'm like, but for the most part, their CDs, I can pick them up, listen to them, and love them right off the bat. Like, so that's my top 9 or whatever. I've got a lot more to say, but I'm gonna have to cut this off because I've got little kids that need me now because they're doing stuff and I don't know what they're doing and it makes me nervous. So I'm gonna go play with them. And I'm just glad I got to say a little bit this morning, and if I have some more time today, I may do another one of these on a more serious subject matter. One of the many subjects that I've got here. So have a great morning, and go make a coffee for somebody. I mean, I know it's 11 o'clock here on the East Coast, so it's probably too early or too late for making coffee for your significant other. But if you're awake on the West Coast and you happen to be watching this morning, or the Midwest or wherever, you know what? Go make a breakfast for somebody. Make somebody smile today, whoever it is. And have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. And here's looking at you, kid.